This is 3 News Daily.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Monday, April 24th. I'm Stephanie Haney here with your top stories from around Northeast Ohio. And we start in Akron today, where 3 News has gotten new surveillance video from Akron police. This shows what happened in the moments before officers sprayed tear gas at people protesting that police weren't charged with crimes for Jayland Walker's death. Lydia Esparra reports.
In newly released surveillance video, you see a protester leaving the group and running towards businesses in Highland Square, picking up a rock and throwing it. Here is the after effects as protesters broke windows at Wally Waffle, Chipotle, and Jamaican Kitchen. In the video, you see cars going around in circles, blocking traffic. Prior to this, there was this. Akron Police Chief Steve Milet.
The officers gave multiple orders for the crowd to disperse before deploying chemical irritants.
Protesters drove and walked the streets in objection to the grand jury clearing 8 Akron officers in the shooting death of Jayland Walker. Attorney Subodh Chandra says this was all unnecessary, and that's why there's a restraining order against the Akron police for using pepper spray against protesters.
What we've seen far too often is officers use misbehavior by one person to attack the whole crowd.
Chandra says the rights of the protesters were being violated.
And that's just not appropriate. I mean, there's just no reason that anybody's safety should be at risk because officers are angry or because they don't know how to proportionately address a situation.
Chief Milet says several officers tried to de-escalate the situation, but he says when bottles were being thrown, even hitting one of his officers in the head, they had to use other measures to control the crowd. The surveillance video also shows someone conducting a sit-in in the middle of the road. A protest site in front of the Justice Center has been designated. On Saturday, some protesters were nearby.
No justice, no peace.
And Milet says protesting is a right, but not at the expense of public safety.
The conditions that were present would have prevented emergency vehicles to get to assist people or transporting them to the hospital.
Now, there weren't any protests in Akron last night, but some businesses are still boarded up and some roads are still closed. The University of Akron, however, has reopened the buildings that they closed last week, and in-person classes are back in session there today. Now, in Wayne County, we have a new warning to share about police impersonators. These impersonators are specifically targeting women and trying to get them to pull over, according to police. They're driving an unmarked dark car with flashing red and blue lights. The Wayne County Sheriff's Department says impersonators have tried to pull someone over at least 3 times in the past 3 days.
It is very, very unlikely that law enforcement officers will pull you over ever with an unmarked car. Please call our office and report this situation.
Now, earlier this month, Cleveland police reported something similar happening around here. Police say drivers should call 911 if they have any doubts about whether an officer is trying to pull them over. In Springfield Township, a Speedway was robbed at knife point on Sunday morning. Police say this happened at around 1:30 in the morning at the Speedway on Canton Road. They say 2 men entered the store, threatened the workers with a knife, then took store merchandise and tried to take money from the cash register. So far, no arrests have been made. Now, if you know anything that might be helpful in this investigation, please contact police. Now, there have been 2 major changes to network and cable news today. Fox News says it's agreed to part ways with Tucker Carlson, a very popular host for the network. This comes less than a week after Fox News settled a lawsuit over its 2020 election reporting. The network said in a press release today that Carlson's last show aired on Friday and didn't give any immediate explanation about why Carlson was leaving. Also today, CNN has split ways from longtime anchor Don Lemon, who used to be in primetime, moved to the morning show recently. Variety published a story earlier this month detailing allegations of misogyny over the course of his career there. Lemon also faced backlash over widely criticized comments he made about women on the air not too long ago. Lemon tweeted today that he was informed by his agent that he was being fired and had some harsh words for management, saying that he had hoped they would have come to him directly. CNN did not immediately explain this situation. Now tonight, administrators at West Geauga High School are recognizing Casey Orlowski. Now he's the student who reported finding a bullet in the school earlier this month. He's the first Ohio student to ever receive the National Hero Award from the Uvalde Foundation for Kids. Casey's report led to police arresting 18-year-old senior Brandon Morissette, who brought a handgun to school with a plan to attack multiple students. West Geauga High School administrators say Casey's actions probably saved lives. Congratulations to Casey. A bittersweet award to receive, for sure. Turning now to gas prices here in Northeast Ohio. Cleveland drivers are paying 0.4 cents less than last week, with that average price now at $3.59 per gallon. In Akron, prices fell 0.8 cents, so that average is also now $3.59 per gallon. Now, for context, these prices are about 41 cents higher than last month, but still 23 cents cheaper than this time last year. Now, in consumer news, Bed Bath & Beyond filed for bankruptcy yesterday after spending the past year announcing a series of job cuts and store closures. The company has been warning of a potential bankruptcy since early January. So it's 360 stores and 120 Bye Bye Baby locations and website will remain open for now. The company says you have until tomorrow to use your 20% off coupons, though. Those are very popular at Bed Bath & Beyond. Now, that brings us to our question of the day. We do know that eventually Bed Bath & Beyond stores will be closing. Many of them, hundreds of them, in fact, around the country, likely to close. So we want to know, how will this impact how you shop for home items? Post your comment to the WKYC Facebook page, and we'll talk about it during What's New at 4 o'clock. Now, in Cuyahoga County, we're learning more about the two finalists, one of whom will be the new leader of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Dr. Warren Morgan on the left is currently the chief academic officer in Indianapolis, and Dr. Ricardo Torres on the right currently works in the Seattle public school system. Both have prior experience working in Cleveland schools, and tonight the district will live stream interviews with both candidates on the district website. That'll be at 4:45 and 6 p.m. One of them will take over for the current CEO, Eric Gordon, who is stepping down at the end of the school year. All right, let's talk sports now. It was a rough weekend in New York City for the Cavaliers after losing in Game 3 Friday night and then also Game 4 yesterday, ending up in another loss. After a tough first half, they were able to take the lead for a little while in the second half, but Donovan Mitchell had a tough time and just couldn't hit those threes when we needed him to. So the Cavs lost on Sunday, 102-93, and now they find themselves in a tricky spot. They're 3-1 for the series, and you know it's a race to 4. So that means they have to win the next 3 games to come out on top and make it to the second round in the NBA playoffs. They're back here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse on Wednesday, hoping to keep this playoff series alive with the win. I feel good about it. All right, on the flip side, the Guardians were able to bounce back from a doubleheader loss on Saturday with a win yesterday. They hosted the Marlins this weekend, and it was a critical third inning for the Guards with Jose Ramirez and Josh Bell hitting back-to-back home runs. You'll love to see it. The Guardians went on to win 7-4. Now they are 11-11 on the season, so back to 50%. They're 1 win away from first place in the American League Central Division. Up next, they start a 3-game series tonight that's at Progressive Field against Colorado. That first pitch is at 6:10 p.m. Okay, here's a quick reminder that this Friday is your last chance to get your votes in for the 2023 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. More than 5 million votes have already been cast, with George Michael holding the #1 spot for weeks. Other nominees include Cyndi Lauper, Sheryl Crow, and Willie Nelson, to name a few. The final inductees will be announced in May, so head over to WKYC.com for a link to cast your vote if you want to have a say in that. All right, we can't let this day go without wishing a very happy 101st birthday to World War II veteran John Sudak from Chardon. His family could not be more proud of him and threw him a wonderful birthday party over the weekend. He told us how it feels to be 101 and had some advice for the young folks.
Feels like old. Be kind to your elders. They're your friends.
They sure are, John. John says he is so thankful for all of the love that he's received, and we're happy to share that love with all of you, so you can send a little positive vibes to John today. All right, thanks for being with us for today's edition of 3 News Daily. Wherever you're watching or listening to us, we appreciate you. We'll see you back tomorrow with more top stories from around Northeast Ohio. Have a great day, everybody.